rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my God, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Just makes my heart sing every time. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good to see all of you fine people. Good morning, Debbie Webb, Natalie Baker, JW. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope that you're doing well this morning. Let's see who else we got here. Brenda Little says, how you doing? Oh, we got Cynthia Nolander. Good to see you. Exceptions. I am an exception to the rule. I will tell you that's for dang sure. Kathy, how you doing? It is good to see you also. Beautiful day, beautiful day. Captain Kern, good to see you. Good morning. Morning, Allie. Good morning. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. Well, it is in certain parts of the world, just not in Georgia. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is what they were reporting. We'll go into this a little bit more today. This ain't nothing. Just so you know. This was just on the ground footage of what
they are
they
chemicals
had.
And how they react, you don't know. And so when this plume starts out, it could become, very, very dangerous, toxic. So until we get those readings from EPA and EPD, we don't know exactly what the plume consists of.
Yeah, that's not really good. That's not what you want to be hearing. That is not what you want to be hearing at all. And the reason I say that is because the EPA data make it hard to know the extent of the contamination from last year's Ohio derailment. Yeah, so you're going to wait on the EPA. Gotcha. So here's the problem with what they're going to be reporting and what's actually happening. Because we've got this right here, which shows you their evacuation area. This is their evacuation area. Okay. If I had zoomed out on this, you'd see this is not far from where I live. This is what people were seeing. I mean, now you can sit there and say, oh, it just, because the news is showing this little bitty thing. This is what people were seeing from the interstate. And I've got more pictures of this, more images, videos of this. And Why would the news not be giving us more? Morning, Volstorm. Good morning. Why would they not be giving you all of the information? Well, because there's a blaze at a biolab, chokes out county on chlorine fumes. May 26th, Wednesday. 2004. Really? Sort of the same chemical plant, huh? You think? Do you think it's possible that this right here might be something?
Wow.
You think maybe this has something to do? People are really concerned with climate change, I guess, but if that isn't disturbing enough, this is what it looks like from space. What do you think? Think that's just a hot air balloon sitting up there? Maybe these chemicals are getting up in the atmosphere and making the frogs gay. It could be. Lots of speculation on this one. Lots of speculation. And this one I'm gonna have to mute it because the volume is so loud. This is another angle from watching this. Yeah, this is a drone footage that's capturing this. Pretty wild, huh? Good morning, Heidi. Good to see you. Yeah. What do you think that's going to do to the atmosphere? And a lot of people are asking, well, what chemicals could it be? What comes up? Yeah. Now we're all going to be in a black hole soon. No problem. Yeah, possibly. Could be. I don't know. I always ask these questions, but after seeing those particular images and hearing what EPA is, you're not able to find out any information. Put that into context while we read this story here. Conyers, Georgia. Some residents of East Atlanta were evacuated while others were told to shelter in place Sunday to avoid contaminants from a chemical plant fire that sent massive plumes of dark smoke and white smoke into the sky that could be seen from miles away, like hundreds of miles away. Interstate 20 was shut down in both directions in the area, the Georgia Department of Transportation said in a post on X. Of course they would, because, well, how else are you going to get your news? Here it is. Isn't that how it works? They want to shut down X, but yet this is where people post all their information. Reports said traffic was snarled as vehicles backed up in the area after closure. The fire ignited when a sprinkler had malfunctioned around 5 a.m. That was 5 a.m. Sunday at the biolab plant in Conyers, Rockdale County. Fire Chief Marion McDaniels told reporters the malfunction caused water to mix with water-reactive chemical. There's lots of chemicals that react with water. Lithium would be one of them. Producing a plume of chemicals. McDaniels said there were employees inside the plant, but no injuries have been reported at this time. Well, it's sort of like Ohio. They didn't report any. Yeah, 20 is still closed off. Oh yeah. Just imagine the mess that they're going to run into. Shut down the interstates, shut down commerce. Oh, that's right. Union workers are going on strike. How many dock workers are going on strike this year? what's going to happen when you can't get any goods off the ships? The ships aren't going to move. They're going to sit there and they're just going to have product, whatever product that might be, like food. Weird, huh? Weird how that works. McDaniel said there were employees inside the plant with no injuries. The newspaper said the billowing cloud of smoke was visible Sunday afternoon as far as 50 miles away, or 30 miles away, at Atlanta's International Airport, south of the city. No injuries were immediately reported. Once we get that chemical out of the building and allow it to burn off, we'll be in much better shape. Imagine that. They have a chemical that they have burning that they can't put out. McDaniel said she wasn't sure what chemicals may have been contained in the plume. Really? You think that they would tell you what chemicals they're making. Biolab website says it is the swimming pool and spa water care division of Lawrenceville. Georgia-based KIK Consumer Products automated message at the phone number in the parent company's website that to call back during business hours. We're actively responding to an occurrence at our facility in Conyers, Georgia, a Biolab representative said in a statement provided to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Our employees are accounted for with no injuries reported. Our team is at the scene. Please do not pull the trigger, working with the first responders and local authorities to assess and contain the situation. A small fire on the plant's roof was initially contained, but reignited Sunday afternoon. As gray smoke spewed into the sky behind him, he said authorities were trying to get the fire under control and urged people, stay out of the area, man. People in the north part of Rockdale County, north of Interstate 20, were ordered to evacuate, and others were told to shelter in place with windows and doors closed and put on your gas mask. Put on your gas mask. Max will tell you what's in the plumes. Triglyceride acid, TCCA, and TCCA-based formulations. These are things you don't want to be putting into your lungs. Yeah, if you ever seen the effects of mustard gas, well, this makes it look genteel. Evacuated through covered part of Conyers Sunday evening, Newton County School District announced, I think our class will be canceled on Monday out of abundance of caution and safety, health, and well-being of all students and staff. We determined that the best course of action is we just close the schools tomorrow. We don't want to get in it. Yes, exactly. I showed that to him 4 years ago. Same or similar accident happened after a hurricane. Weird how that happens, isn't it? McDaniel said crews were working on removing the chemicals from the building away from water source. Once the product is contained, the situation will be assessed and officials will let residents know whether it's safe to return to their homes, drink their water, breathe their air. That makes it very interesting because how long can they keep I-20 shut down? Who knows? And as we were talking about earlier, EPA data makes it hard to know the extent of the contamination from last year. Imagine it's been a year. The way the EPA has reported its test results since a Norfolk Southern train derailed and officials released and burned chemicals that spewed a toxic cloud over East Palestine, Ohio, making it hard for residents to know the full extent of contamination and potential risk to their health. Well, let's see. Whenever babies start coming out, with flippers and stuff like that, I think then you'll know. Data analyzed by the Associated Press shows the EPA doesn't provide specific measurement for chemicals that will fall below a reporting limit, making it hard to know how much there is. Really? I mean, just a little bit of lithium in your body makes it feel really good. On September 14th, 2020, a thermal decomposition event occurred at the Biolab facility in Conyers, Georgia, also in 2004. The company is a manufacturer of pool and spa treatment products. The company reported the thermal decomposition of a product that contained chlorine. Yes, chlorine reacts really bad whenever mixed with. Weird how they put that into your drinking water too. Huh. Data analyzed by the Associated Press doesn't provide anything because, well, we don't care what's going to happen to you. The agency's lack of transparency, combined with the independent tests that appear to show lingering problems in the area from 2023, are making it hard for some residents to trust the EPA's assurance that they are safe, because the EPA is no longer in the business of just helping people. It is about regulating. I used to feel like those were agencies to protect the people. Oh, no. Not for a long time. The EPA was more concerned about, what do they call it? Climate change. I used to feel like those agencies were to protect people, but I don't feel like that anymore, said Chrissy, who still isn't living in her home because of her concerns. They need to come forth, do the right thing. They know these chemicals just don't go away. They mix with other chemicals and turn into whole new chemicals. Oh, that was 7th grade science thinking there, man. What's going on with the numbers? The EPA results. Government reports are often labeled undetectable because the EPA says there's not enough of a chemical present to reliably determine how much is there. Go figure out how much anthrax it takes to wipe you out. Tell me. There might not be enough to know how much is there because they don't know how to test for it, more than likely. But the results from the railroad contractors' independent testers working in East Palestine, well, they include more details. Those spreadsheets include actual results even when they are below the reporting limits. That's because the lower threshold, called a method detection limit, that spells out what a test is capable of finding. Testing experts say that generally reports result above lower limit because the numbers are considered reliable. The EPA hasn't explained why it hasn't disclosed these details on levels of chemicals, but it says it's worked in East Palestine is focused on levels high enough to pose immediate threat to human health. When asked about, just only immediate threat, not like long-term effects. Those are really dangerous. Low. The final incident report happened September 15, 2020. And sent to your Discord. Came out April 2023 last year. Yeah. Here we go. So this is just right. Yeah. Yeah, I already showed that one. Let's see here. And we'll open this thing up. Let me put it in. Let me see pictures. I got a place where I save all these kind of things. Second. Go. Give me just a second. I'll open this thing up and don't care. That. Here we go. So this is what Max is talking about right here. That extreme weather preparedness process, CBS, CSB, Chemical Safety Board and Hazard. Background, Biolab Lake Charles, PCCA and base formulation descriptions of the surrounding area. There's this whole report. Oh my gosh. And it just goes down through here. Oh, look. What is it like that? Biolab has approximately 37 industrial biochemical fields around Lake Charles. And then we got what that little one did right there. What it did right here. Oh, look, it has that same red color in the smoke. And that's what it looked like. Landed high efficiency flow tower. Yeah, see, look what it did to that tower. How it melted that thing down. And if you wonder what it does to your body, well, here you go. These are the outcomes of human interaction. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all. What do we got? We got 125 pages of this, but it's out there. All you have to do is be like Max, and you can find these things also. The cause in 2020 was due to rainwater reacting with the stored acid-based formulation, the TCCA. Decomposition, Hurricane Laura at the time, sounds the same. Isn't it weird how that happens? Weird and annoying how these kinds of how could something like this happen? It is okay. Yes, and I showed the same incident happened 4 years ago. It's crazy that this is these kinds of things are gonna continue on quite some time. Going to continue on for quite some time. Of course, the EPA isn't going to tell you anything. The latest spreadsheet EPA post on its East Palestine website last month shows 8,758 soil and sediment test results produced since the derailment. Some 64,000 or 6,400 of those entries declared wasn't enough for an individual chemical found to report it accurately under the conservative reporting limit. But new data from the contractors who have done most of the testing revealed that the test results from last year, nearly 95% had detectable levels of the chemicals, according to the detailed information the lab provides. So what are the health implications? Even though it's hard to know exactly how much health threat exists, medical researchers say there are real concerns in East Palestine because some residents have reported unexplained health problems since the derailment, including respiratory issues, rashes, hair loss, nosebleed, asthma, and at least one case of male breast cancer that prompted a double mastectomy. The human health screening levels that the EPA is relying on, are based on short-term exposure. It's less clear what it means to be exposed to these chemicals over a longer period of time. Ground control to Major Tom. Yes, it is. It is a mess. It is a mess. And it just goes on and on. Lawyers who know, hey, here it goes. The lack of EPA data could influence whether the judge approves the settlement. There it is. There it is. Who represents 35 people who objected to the deal, said it could not be approved yet because the attorneys who negotiated it haven't released the results of Petty's tests and other details they've learned. The lawyers who negotiated the deal say most people who live within the area covered support it, and roughly 55,000 claims were on file. Only 370 households and 47 businesses opted out. It's only a $600 million settlement. Imagine this. They send more money to Palestine than they want to settle with these people. And we're, you got difference, I guess, between American East Palestine and sorry, so bad. That is so bad. It's just insane that they just cannot update it. I mean, think about this. Here you are years later, and they still have an evacuation order remaining in effect for residents of an Ohio community as crews continue to work at the scene of the dangerous chemical leak. It's just, it doesn't stop. Like, this is ridiculous. Oh, this one was leaking styrene. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. We've talked enough about chemicals. Now it's time. Bring up, because it's firing up. It's firing up. I told you it was going to happen. There you go. Global game of influence. China turns to cheap and effective tool. Oh, it says, I love how they put this. A global game of influence. China turns to cheap and effective tool. Fake news. What do you think they're saying? A U.S. diplomat, Kirk Campbell, traveled to the Solomon Islands to counter Beijing's influence in the South Pacific country. He quickly just saw how far China would go to spread its message. Well, we know about these Biden administration czars because, he had a czar that was an Asian influencer. Then they had a czar that was a border czar. But yeah, we don't talk about that. It's just we don't know anything about them and their things. The local press about the U.S. running chemicals and biological labs in Ukraine. Of course, a claim that Washington calls an outright lie started by Russia. The false and incendiary claim was vigorously amplified by China. Vast overseas propaganda apparatus is another example of clearly effective Russian and Chinese disinformation. Really? Like, weren't we told for years? Oh, we are. We'll get there. We'll get to camel toe. We got some news for you. No, here's the thing. It's really odd that Wuhan, they said for years that we had nothing to do with Wuhan, that we weren't doing gain of function. I mean, they even sat down with Fauci, and Fauci's like, I know of nothing of gain of function happening in any sort of place in Wuhan. That's not happening. I sit here today telling you nothing like that ever happens. What did we find out? The voices, which are clearly a work in progress, make it impossible to follow along. Yeah, though it is constantly happening. It was another example of clearly effective Russia and Chinese disinformation. Okay. 2 years later, the claim still reverberates online, demonstrating sprawling effort to reshape global perceptions. Campaign costing many billions per year. Billions. Oh. Is becoming ever more sophisticated thanks to AI. Like the story was written by AI, you can tell. China's operations have caught the attention of intelligence analysts and policymakers in Washington who vow to combat any actions that could influence the November election or undermine American interests. Oh, isn't that special? The key tactic, networks of websites purporting to be legitimate news outlets delivering pro-China coverage and often parallels official statements and positions from Beijing. And of course, like I said, this is long and drawn out, and there's no need reading this because we already know that AP is spreading the same kind of disinformation. Well, you're like, no, that can't be true. Why would the AP ever give you bad information? Well, let me show you the kind of bad information that AP just leaves out. They say these things are falsities. These things are falsities. Really? Really? So you're telling me that this is false? Yeah, you want to find out how false it is? No, here. We have this right here. Might explain it.
Could even do a little slice of orange, something like that. Oh, yes, hi. Yes, I'm here. Okay, I'm going to talk about a recipe while you're checking. Is that okay? She'll tell me if I'm annoying her. Hey, how you doing? Hi. Okay, so Nick, if you're doing... Okay, Nick, but a dry brine is easier, and do it brine for 24 but 48 hours is best if you have the time. Make sure you guys get in the fridge. You could even do it.
Wow, huh? I thought there was nothing going on there. No, she would never use that kind of thing. Good morning. She's confused. Yes. Good morning, Magic Angel. Good morning, everybody. Welcome everybody for coming in. And of course, I love doing this all the time also because here you go. Debunked. The original video right here was from this, and this was the TikTok, and this was also the Nation News interview and in-ear monitors info, and of course it shows the Wikipedia, debunked Bluetooth earrings, CBS News, USA Today, YouTube Watch, this news story, Trump Harris conspiracy microphone earrings, and then USA Today, Story News, Fact Check 2024, 2009, 2011, Camel's earrings debate, fact check, blah, blah, blah. There you go. It's all fake news. It's all fake news. I've played it multiple times. What Judge Brown said about camel toe. Oh, I played it. Long time. Miss you. Hey, Belvy, good to see you. Feeling good to see you. Yes. It was all completely debunked. I love it. Biden says he hopes to visit Helene impacted areas this week if it doesn't impact emergency response. We also have more information on that one there. Imagine we can talk about these kinds of things really, fairly, openly. Really, fairly, and openly. Ah, just a second. I'll bring that one up here shortly. Yeah. Here it is. It is. It is. It is.
Yes, it's tragic. Matter of fact, we're trying to get the exact number. My FEMA advisor is on the ground in Florida right now. There's a distinction between the numbers that FEMA's used and the ones that are used by the locals. So it really is amazing. You saw the photographs. It's stunning.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
Such a wide area.
And we've given them all everything that we have. We're on the ground ahead of time, so we're working hard.
Are there any more resources the federal government could be giving them?
No, we've given them. We have pre-planned a significant amount of it, even though they didn't ask for it yet. Hadn't asked for it yet.
Imagine that. Do you have any more resources you can offer them? Nah. We're working on $1 billion amount of money that we're going to send off to. We're going to send off to another country. Definitely not here. Definitely not here. Definitely not here. No, it things like this, they're not supposed to happen here. No. They're not supposed to happen here. Oh, this is supposed to be this one. Sorry about that, folks. Slacking off here. Biden was briefed again on Sunday evening about the impact of the devastating storm on an enormous swath of the Southeast. He described the impact of the storm as stunning, and he said that the administration is giving states everything we have to help with the response of the storm. Biden planned to speak about the administration's response efforts in remarks from the White House on Monday. Which White House? Because that man has no idea where he is. Dementia. Oh, am I just talking health? No politics. Yeah, see? He's just talking about health. Biden planned to speak about the administration's response efforts in remarks from the White House on Monday. The White House said Vice President Camel Toe will visit the storm-ravaged areas as soon as it's possible without disrupting emergency response operations. That's strange. That's exact wording that Biden used. At a Las Vegas rally Sunday night, Harris spoke about the impact of Helene, saying, "I know everyone here sends their thoughts and prayers for the folks who have been so devastated by that hurricane." Of course, we would all hope that they would do that. We stand with these communities for as long as it takes to make sure that they're able to rebuild. Really? Sort of like you did with Katrina. Did a lot of rebuilding there, right? The North Carolina county that included the mountain city of Asheville reported earlier Sunday that 30 people were killed due to the storm, pushing the overall death toll to at least 91 people across several states. But they didn't want to pay any attention to it before then. I mean, the South. Biden on Sunday made calls to several state and local government officials that in the areas impacted by the hurricane included Brian Kemp, Roy Cooper, Georgia Mayor Scott Matheson, Taylor County, Florida Emergency Management Director John Luke. Biden told the officials in the administration will continue to provide support to impact communities for as long as it takes, according to the White House. Biden, who spent much of the weekend at his beach house in Delaware. Why is it if all the water's rising, why would you be spending your weekend at a beach house? Biden, who spent much of the weekend at a beach house in Delaware, has received frequent updates from the storm FEMA Administrator Dean Criswell, Homeland Security Advisor Liz Sherwood, Randall, and other officials. Harris received similar briefings while on board Air Force Two, according to the White House. The White House said Biden directed Criswell to figure out what can be done to accelerate support to isolated communities that are having difficulty accessing assistance. Former President Donald Trump campaign announced earlier Sunday he will visit Valdosta, Georgia on Monday to survey Helene's impact on the state, one of several hotly contested battlegrounds that will be pivotal in the November presidential election. Now, it's amazing to me that they have to mention it like that, but they wouldn't mention it whenever Biden and Harris won't visit. Well, we don't want it to impact resources. Well, what about that $2 million jet you've been flying around in? How is it going with that? Good to see you, Brandon. Also, this beach house is at a known gay beach. Could be possible. I don't know anything about that. China doesn't need any fake news. We make our own, lie to people without needing their interference, damn it. That's scary. My family lives in Burke County, North Carolina. Yeah. Trump is expected to receive a briefing, facilitate the distribution of relief supplies, deliver remarks during the visit. His campaign. Well, that's because place that he cares deeply about. Well, you say, why does he care deeply about these things? Well, he does. He actually gives a crap. But hey, this is the kind of news that they tell you right here. Climate change destroyed an Alaska village. Its residents are starting over in a new town. Growing up along the banks of the Nickgick River in western Alaska, Ashley Tom would look out her window after strong storms from the Bering Sea hit her village and notice something unsettling. The riverbank was creeping ever closer. It was that home in the village of Newtok where Tom's great-grandmother had taught her to sew and crochet on the sofa. Skills she used at school when students crafted headdresses, mittens, and baby booties using seal or otter fur. Oh, that's right. Baby seal fur? Man, that would be soft and cozy. It's also where her grandmother taught her the intricate art of grass basket weaving and how to speak the Yupik language. Today, erosion and melting permafrost have just about destroyed Newtok, eating about 70 feet of land every year. Really? It is weather that happens. Because you would have told us 70 years ago that we're on the verge of global cooling. Hell, I can pull up all the times that they're saying the whole world is going to freeze over. We're going to have more severe ice storms. And that was all up until Al Gore ran. And then it was, oh, no, the world is heating. Here's our hockey stick formula, which they proved to be wrong. And people are still repeating the same BS over and over again. Now we are in a global warming. It's all global warming. And then that didn't fit the narrative because they debunked everything that he said. It became climate change. Know your history. Know your history. Living with my great-grandmother was all I could remember from Newtok. And it was one of the first houses to be demolished. Aw, isn't that special? Well, here's the thing. Maybe migrate. It's what most of the rest of the world does. Whenever they need to grow from different areas, they move, they migrate. Yeah, and of course, this is what it looks like now. I've got my four-wheeler and my little bundle of joy. I drive around, living on the banks of this giant river, but it's eroding. All the storms are destroying my FEMA housing. Why is it that all the homes look the same? This is what it used to look like. For now, the rush is gone to get 18 temporary homes that arrive at Marituck on a barge set up before winter sets in. Oh, that's because they're helping them out. warming 2 to 3 times faster than the global averages. Oh man, so if it's warming, that means you're not going to have any but to get warm there. Great. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Isn't that what you want? Oh, thank you, Starzy. I just noticed too. Thank you. I noticed the other day I was quite surprised. I usually get naked for those kinds of things, but yeah, I got in trouble last time I did that. I exposed too much, exposed way too much, and they said I shouldn't be doing that online. But I mean, what else can a man do? Moving is hard. To find a new place to go, communities typically need to swap spit with the federal government, which owns about 60% of Alaska's land. Why would that be? But Congress has approved swaps, and that's only after negotiations that can drag on. Newtok, for example, began pursuing the Nelson Island land in 1996 and didn't wrap up until late 2003. He says that's way too long. The director of climate initiative of the Alaska and Native Tribal Health Consortium. If we look back a decade, what's happened as far as climate change in Alaska, we're out of time. We just need to find a better way to help communities secure land for relocation. Uh-huh. Here's the thing. Get yourself some teepees. What is that? Even CBS's articles on how Rehoboth Beach has become the haven of the gay community. Exactly. Yeah, it is. It is amazing. It's amazing to me. They could just go move in with Biden. Weird how climate change, the oceans are rising. Well, no, it's just eroding. No, it's doing everything else. No, we got something else happening here. No, it's completely something different than what you see. It's not the same. Not the same. Stop listening. Oh, now it's Europeans, Arab, and Muslim nations launch a new initiative for an independent Palestinian state. And this is what you hear constantly over and over again. This is their top reporting here. Israel's Netanyahu strengthens its hold on office by adding a rival to its cabinet. Oh, look, see? But then, of course, whenever it comes to the United States, you're hearing, well, no, they're telling you absolutely the truth here. Help me, I'm melting. Relocating is not always an option. Exactly. It is absolutely not always an option. And in Alaska, you're not going to get that option because you're going to be trying to move into government land. And if the government owns the land, they are not willing to give up on that, especially whenever they have that much oil sitting in ANWR. Yeah, you should see the place that the people used to live in ANWR, and whenever they finally moved out, they bought a nice piece of property out in the farmlands of what was it, Michigan or something like that. That had been overfarmed. Yeah, you should check it out. It's actually pretty cool. They bought thousands of acres, and they planted hazelnut trees. And they make a pretty good living off of that. They don't spray any pesticides on their trees. They don't spray any chemicals on any of their plants. They just plant a lot of it. So if something goes through there and ravages it, it means that plant wasn't strong enough to handle whatever pest or termite or disease on the plant. They also have set it up so it's pretty sustainable. They did the whole green thing. You should check it out. It's pretty cool. They moved out. They moved from Alaska. They left ANWR. They're one of the last people out of there. Even CBS. Yes. What is it? Help me. You're melting. Yeah, don't melt too much. They're saying October 7th for the next one. Nice. What is it? Help me. I'm trying in content or my flooding is over the roof. That is very true. There is so much out here. So much out here to talk about. Like I said, some of this I'll touch on, but we've already seen what they're trying to do, and they're not talking about the the bombs going off in Beirut, or the attack in Beirut. Yes, I mean, you can, like I said, you can have this right here. Israel says halting Hezbollah attacks is now a war goal. No, they said that quite some time ago. Could mass protests in Israel over the hostages pursued Netanyahu to agree to a ceasefire deal? No. Israel-Hamas war at the stake of the latest ceasefire negotiation. See, they're trying to negotiate a ceasefire, but you have to understand these countries have been going at it for quite some time. We are on the verge of World War III, but they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that at all. No, here's more important things that they want to talk about right before the vice presidential debate. Mm-hmm. Easy, huh? But we're going to talk about that. Short break, because I need to get me some caffeine, because my throat is gotten where I just need that gentle lubrication as that warm fluid leaks down my throat. I will be right back.
Sandy shores get a tan, Rambo the orangutan. Driving a golf cart, oh man, Rambo is half crazy, yes he can. Well, that SOB's a sight to F and see. Oh, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Oh, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is, well, that is too dirty to say here. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is that is too dirty to say here, Oh, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Otters in the surf, hummingbirds in the sky. Rambo honks the horn and spits in Shizzy's eye. Oh my! Oh, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Oh, Rambo's rolling. Rambo takes a turn, driving to the way. Otters wave their paws, telling Rambo, not sure, but if you could understand, Otter, it probably wasn't nice. Rambo takes a turn, driving to the waves. Otters wave their paws, telling Rambo, not sure, but if you could understand, Otter, it probably wasn't nice. Oh, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having a effing blast. So here's to Rambo, otters and hummingbirds by the edge of the ocean. And Shizzy, well, he might just be there too.
Yeah, might just be there. You never know. Yes, we've got some really, really interesting stuff here. I can't help but talk about it, because it says here. Here's Trolls Trump at Vegas rally and LA fundraisers say their crowds are pretty big. Oh, crowds are pretty big, really. Mm-hmm. So why don't you do a live debate? Oh, that's right. You couldn't. because you lost. You lost that debate pretty badly. You got fact checked real time right here. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty horrible. You debated really bad, Harris. Really bad. It was sickeningly sad. Yeah. Yeah. And you think Trump wants to debate you after that? Huh, probably not. And of course, Vice President Camel Toe poked at Donald Trump of crowd sizes. My size is so huge. This is the largest one she's ever put in her mouth. It was this big. It was ginormous. It was larger than life. His refusal to debate again. Why would he want to debate again? He already beat you the first time. I mean, it's hard for her to understand this. Attend a stream of winning realities. It was fun. Yeah. I do that. I do that sometimes. Show up and do these things. During the presidential debate, Harris appeared to get under the former president's skin. No, not at all. I think it was just like him sitting there listening to the lies that she said. The North Carolina lie, and all of the lies that she said. When people were leaving his rallies earlier because of his rambling speeches, well, that's the thing. That's already been debunked. Sorry, sweet cheeks. The vice president told donors at a Tony Los Angeles fundraiser that if she campaigns around the country, her crowds are pretty big. I mean, they're pretty big. I mean, what we don't fill in, we'll put in with AI. The crowd estimated at 7,500. She renewed her jabs at Trump over being reluctant to debate again, saying the American people have the right to hear us discuss the issues. Well, the only problem is why would he have to listen to anything that you say? The issues are issues that you created, Camel Toe. So you're not going to do anything to change it while you're here. Why would you do anything to change it whenever you're elected as president? You're currently vice president and you have the ability to get these things passed. You could go talk to Joe and get these things straightened out because you two are like simpatico, right? At least that's what you said. Mm-hmm. The American people will have the right to hear us discuss the issues. And as you say here in Las Vegas, I'm all in. I'm all in. Yeah, I bet she does take it all in. Harris's 4-day West Coast trip had dual purposes. She opened and closed her legs with the stops in Sunbelt battlegrounds, Arizona and Nevada, where the VP is trying to shore up support as Trump pounds her relentlessly over illegal migration. It's not migration, sweetheart. AP, get it right. And her mid-stay in California was devoted to hauling in campaign contributions from donors in her blue home state. Oh, you don't really want me to go into those campaign donations, do you? Why debate her again? Her interviews are tanking her chances. Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. Exactly. Let them do as they wish. Harris also moved into what Trump considers his terrain, illegal immigration, with a Friday visit to the border town of Douglas, Arizona. It was her first trip to the U.S.-Mexico border ever. No, she went to El Paso. Ooh. Yeah, she didn't go to the border. And no, I doubt she went to the border in Douglas, Arizona either. Since taking over for President Joe Biden to top taking over is, I guess, one way of saying it. She was on top of it. I mean, I'm sure she was doing a little dance and a little cheer because, DEI is the only way that she's gotten where she is right now. Just by sucking a foot. She's equivalent of MJT. Yeah, I agree. She has very little pull, very little power. Yeah, she has never, ever visited the border. No, she hasn't. Harris gave the same response she usually does to his insults, calling her mentally impaired. Agreed. I mean, I don't see that as an insult. I see that as a compliment. We just see the same old tire show and the same old tire playbook. Exactly. That's exactly what Trump said. He said the Democrats are playing the same racist playbook. They will constantly, if you disagree with us, you must be racist. You want to bring us down. It's because the certain brown and dark people they don't have enough intelligence to go get driver's licenses. Isn't that what the Democrats told us 4 years ago? 6 years ago? Yeah, 6 years ago they were disenfranchised. That they didn't know where the DMV was. You saying black people can't drive? Saying the Hispanic community can't drive? How about the Asian community? They can't drive. We know that's true. Oh, God. Hours later in Las Vegas, she also revived her jabs at Trump for his silver platter background and nonetheless produced 6 bankruptcies. Sweetheart. See, you keep trying on the old tired stuff. Those were his companies that filed bankruptcies, not him personally. Big difference between him and his companies. Silly. I come from the middle class and I'll never forget where you come from. No, you came from California and moved to, where was that? Canada? Grew up in Canada, right? I guess we don't want to talk about that. Harris has warned the race is as close as it could possibly be. No. Only because they're following AP's polls, and we've already discussed where those AP polls are written and where they come from. They're coming from diversity, equity, inclusion formed companies that do the polling and talk about this stuff. We saw the same thing happen during what was the Hilda Beast and her campaign. Yeah, we saw the same thing. Oh yes, absolutely. If you want to come by for that tomorrow, not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Come by for that tomorrow. It's gonna be fun watching Vance scorch Waltz. Yes, it is going to absolutely be torching. The only way that I can see that Walls could do anything good is, well, by not showing up. That'd probably be the smartest thing he could do is not show up because, well, a family emergency, Yeah, we've because here's the problem. Because Walsh will sit there and call him all kinds of names under the book, not realizing who his wife is. Yeah, he'll say all kinds of mean things about him on his stance. Vance is pretty damn solid. I don't agree with everything that he says, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I've seen, if you've never seen Vance debate, like he debates on a level that Camel Toe would wish that she could have. I would venture to say, and I'm all seriousness, I'd venture to say if Vance had to debate Trump, he would probably pounce him. Yeah. Lawyers have a certain way of debating that have busted their ass for becoming good lawyers over a period of time, how well they can actually do. Hours later in Las Vegas, she revived her jabs at Trump. I come from the middle class. No, she didn't. Harris has warned the race is as close as it could possibly be. There is no margin of error. The event was full of celebrity. Go figure. You got Stevie Wonder and Michael Key and Sterling K. Brown, Demi Lovato, Jessica Alba, and Lily Tomlin. I thought Lily died. No. That was what's her name from The Shining. Damn it, I always get those two confused. Haley Bailey and Alanis Morissette. They took the stage, and a fundraiser a day earlier in San Francisco raised a combined $55 million for the Harris campaign. Isn't it weird whenever you really start digging into those campaigns, the kind of you find, stuff that you find? Yeah, whenever you dig into those campaigns and where all the funding is really coming from, we've done that. We've dug into where that money comes from. Yeah, you want to see where her donations are coming from? Here, watch this.
In just 10 minutes on FEC.gov, they discovered startling donation patterns from supposedly unemployed individuals. Now, let's take a look at some of these numbers. 4 unemployed individuals donating a staggering $197,993.68 across, you ready for this? 23,416 separate donations. That's an average of 10 donations per day, every day, since January 1st, 2023. Does this sound like genuine grassroots support to you? So let's break it down. These suspicious donations. First, we have Carolyn from New Jersey, living in an apartment and listed as unemployed. She somehow managed to donate over $53,000 through 5,998 separate donations since January 1st of 23. The bulk of the donations, 36,000, went directly to Act Blue across over 4,600 transactions. But it doesn't stop there. She also made donations to various Democrat campaigns and PACs, including Bob Casey for Senate, Jeffries for Congress, and Nancy Pelosi for Congress. So how does an unemployed person living in an apartment have this kind of money to throw around? Next, we have Sandra from California, also unemployed and living in an average house. She donated $30,000, or just over $30,000, ready for this, across 66,000, almost 6,800 donations. Again, the majority went to Act Blue, just over $19,000, over 4,870 donations. She also contributed to Rosen for Nevada, HMP, and even Harris for President. That's right, folks. Direct donations to Harris campaign from an unemployed individual. And then there is Thomas from Wisconsin. His listed address is just a plot of land, yet this unemployed donor managed to give, you ready for this? Just shy of $70,000 through 2,600 donations. A whopping almost 35,000 went to Act Blue in 1,600 separate transactions. He also donated to the Progressive Turnout Project, Retired Americans PAC, and once again, Harris for President. And then we also have here, this is Amy. Meet Amy from Oregon, another unemployed donor who somehow scraped together $42,000 for about 8,000 donations that Act Blue received. Okay. Now they received 29,000 from her across 5,500 transactions. She donated to Ameripac, Moms Fed Up, Elect Democratic Women. Now, my friends, these patterns are not just suspicious, they are downright alarming. So how are unemployed individuals making thousands of small donations totaling tens of thousands of dollars? And why are they spreading these donations across multiple Democrat campaigns and PACs? But it gets worse. Tony Saruga, another investigator, he found over 400,000 new Act Blue accounts created in just 30 days. Now take a look at some of the emails that were sent by the Harris campaign. They're practically begging for $1, $2, $3 donations, but there's a twist that reveals just how deep the rabbit hole goes. You ready? In this email, you can see right here, they're pushing hard for a measly $3 donation. They claim it could guarantee Joe and Kamala are reelected and prevent Donald Trump from becoming president again. Yeah. Well, here's another one. This time, they are down to asking for just $1. $1. They're using scare tactics, mentioning Trump's far-right billionaire donors and a supposed $50 million donation to Trump's super PAC. It's clear fear-mongering 101. But this last email is where things get really interesting. If you notice the name at the top, FJB. Now you might think that's just a random set of initials, but here's the kicker. The investigators deliberately seeded these initials into Act Blue's database. That's right, America. Tony Saruga and his team inserted tens of thousands of fake donors into Act Blue lists to track their activities, and lo and behold, here's one of the fake names showing up in an official email. This proves beyond a shadow of doubt that the Harris campaign is using these Act Blue lists for their fundraising efforts. They're sending personalized emails to names that don't even exist. But why are they so desperate for these tiny donations? It's not about the money, folks. It's about creating ActBlue accounts to facilitate what appears to be a massive scam. They're using these small donations to create a smokescreen of grassroots support, all while potentially funneling much larger sums through these seemingly innocent transactions.
D-Max.
This isn't just clever marketing.
Yeah. Crazy, huh? Crazy how that happened. It is absolutely amazing how that happens. Of course, you know, over the weekend, I believe this was on a Friday. There you go. Right.
About this meeting. So what I expect to hear from the President Zelensky, and what are your expectations?
Say it a little louder, please.
What are your expectations from this meeting? What do you expect to hear from
Nothing. Look, this is a meeting, and we have a big race going on right now. I guess 37 days left, and we're leading in the polls, so we'll see how it all works out. Hopefully it'll work out, but if it does, we're going to work very much with both parties to try and get this settled and get it worked out. It has to end at some point. It has to end. He's gone through hell. This country has gone through hell like few countries have ever, like it's happened anywhere. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's a terrible situation. And I will say I have had a great relationship. It was very honorable. I don't even know if you know this, but when they did the impeachment hoax, it was a hoax, just a Democrat hoax, which we won. But one of the reasons we won it so easily is that when the president was asked, it was over a phone call with the president, and he said he could have grandstanded and played cute, but he didn't do that. He said, President Trump did absolutely nothing wrong. He said it loud and clear, and the impeachment hoax died right there. He could have said, well, I don't know. I don't know. And I never even told you this, to be honest, but he was like a piece of steel. He said, President Trump did nothing wrong. We had a very nice call. He congratulated me on his victory. He just won. And I remember that. He could have played cute, and he didn't play cute. And so I appreciated that. So we have a very good relationship. And I also have a very good relationship, as you know, with President Putin. And I think if we win, I think we're going to get it resolved very quickly. I really think we're going to get it.
I hope we have more good relations.
We're going to have. Oh, I see. Yeah, but you know, it takes two to tango. You know, and we will. We're going to have a good meeting today, and I think the fact that we're even together today is a very good sign. And hopefully, we'll have a good victory because the other side wins. I don't think you can have victories with anything, to be honest with you. So we're going to sit down, just discuss it, and. If we have a win, I think long before January 20th, before I would take the presidency, it's January 20th. But long before that, I think that we can work out something that's good for both sides. It's time. And by the way, the president knows that too. He wants to get something done. He doesn't want to do this. And so we look forward to having them. I mean, I look forward to being with him. But what I said is true. He was a piece of steel.
Piece of steel. Yeah, that was the meeting that he had with him. Wild how that worked out, huh? Wild how that worked out. Yeah, interesting, huh? But see, we don't talk about that because, well, because instead we've got Camel Toe that says these kinds of things.
There are consequential issues at stake in this election. And one is the security of our border. The United States is a sovereign nation. And I believe we have a duty to set rules at our border and to enforce them. And I take that responsibility very seriously. There are
Really? So what have you been doing for the past 4 years now? Taking it seriously, right? I can tell. I can tell that you've been taking it very seriously. Yeah, very seriously. All so seriously. How seriously has she been taking it? Oh, well, this is how
The
serious.
Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement confirms that more than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States. The letter here tells the tale. Hello, I'm John Roberts in
Terrifying.
Washington. You believe this, Sandra?
Which means they are here. And this is just an unbelievable development. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. Good to be with you, John. This is America Reports. Let's get right to Bill Malugin. He's got this news for us. He's live out of Douglas, Arizona right now, where Vice President Kamala Harris is set to visit later this afternoon. Bill, the details of this news, what do you have?
Yeah, and Sandra, bear with me. We just got these numbers moments ago, but it's a jaw dropper to say the least. So to set the stage here, let me just explain what these numbers mean. ICE has something called a non-detained docket. Essentially what that is it means migrants who were encountered by DHS but are no longer in federal custody. So who's on this non-detained docket? It's illegal immigrants who were caught and released at the border, released with the court date years away. They're in immigration proceedings, combined with illegal immigrants who have already been ordered deported from the country by a judge but are still here roaming the country. So keep that in mind, this non-detained docket. According to a letter that the acting director of ICE just sent to Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez, on ICE's non-detained docket, they're currently tracking 425,000 non-citizens who have been convicted of a crime. Of that number, over 13,000 non-citizens have convictions for homicide and are on the non-detained docket, meaning they're roaming the country right now. On top of that, there are another 15,811 non-citizens convicted of sexual assault who are roaming the country right now on ICE's non-detained docket. It doesn't stop there. Those are convictions. The ICE director also says there are currently just under 1,900 non-citizens on the non-detained docket who have pending homicide charges who are roaming the country, and another 4,250 non-citizens who have pending sexual assault charges who are roaming the country on the non-detained docket. So people's eyes might be glazing over right now with all the numbers we just threw at you. Just to put it in a nutshell right here, what we've learned from the acting ICE director via this letter to Congressman Tony Gonzalez is right now there are over 13,000 illegal aliens convicted of homicide who are roaming the United States right now. There are another 15,811 illegal aliens roaming the country right now who have been convicted of sexual assault. And there are even more who are facing charges for homicide and charges for sexual assault. So this just goes to show, guys, the non-detained docket has exploded under the Biden administration to over, I believe it's 7.3 million. They're anticipating it could hit 8 million by the end of the year. But looking at the numbers on this letter right here, there are currently over 600,000 non-citizens on ICE's non-detained docket who are either convicted, or 600,000 non-citizens on this non-detained docket who are roaming the country right now. Of that, 425,000 have already been convicted of crimes. 222,000 are pending crimes. And again, the most serious crimes we just told you about.
Really? And that's the news from them. Yeah. And that's what they want to say. Oh, well. No, it's not us. It's not us. We haven't been in charge. It's all Donald Trump's fault. Because, well, let's talk about climate change. I mean, come on. Let's get down to the nuts and bolts of this. They're more worried about crowd size? Yeah. All about crowd size, huh? All about crowd size. Meanwhile, the vice president is continuing to notch Republican support. not true. Unless they're rhinos, they would have been there anyway. Jeff Flake became the latest to endorse her. He credited Harris with a fine character and love of country. Well, it depends on which countries you're talking about. And he said he wants a president who does not treat political adversaries as enemies or try to subvert the will of voters. Wait, you mean like DOJ going after Donald Trump for how long? How many years? Oh, for the past 4 years, they've been going after Donald Trump. Like longtime critic of the former president joins a list of anti-Trump Republicans who said they will vote on the Democrat ticket. Well, Dick Cheney is a warmonger. The deeply conservative former vice president, no, he's not deeply conservative. He's a warmonger. And his daughter, Liz, another warmonger. But Maryland state candidate Larry Hogan, a former Republican governor and sharp critic of Trump, and Harris has yet to earn his vote, though Trump won't get it. In Nevada, where Harris held her latest rally, all voters automatically receive ballots by mail unless they opt out. A little strange, isn't it? The pandemic era change that was set in state law. Actually, it was set before state law, before the pandemic, and it was done by Republicans. So they might want to double check on that one, because that right there started before the whole pandemic. And it was Republicans that passed this. They created it, they planned it, they passed it, and they couldn't go back and change it. It was bad law that was written in. They've been trying to get that amended for quite some time, because they found out that was a bad idea. Yep, pandemic. Harris will be back in Las Vegas on October 10th. Well, because she has to do something. But she and Trump have campaigned frequently in the city, highlighting the critical role that Nevada's 6 electoral votes could play in deciding an election expectation to exceedingly close. Trump held his own Valish Reggae on September 13th at the World Expo Market Center, where Harris spoke on Sunday. She's also held events in the same venues that Trump used in Milwaukee, Atlanta, and suburban Phoenix. During a campaign stop in Las Vegas in June, Trump promised to eliminate taxes on tips, and then, of course, he was saying that before June, but then, of course, Camel Toe said, "I'm going to do that too, sweetheart. You are in the White House right now. Why aren't you taking care of these things?" Because she's going to make that same promise that everything that she sees Trump does, she's going to do better. Everything he can do, I could do better. Doing away with federal taxes on tips would probably require an act of Congress. Still, Nevada's Culinary Union, which represents 60,000 hospitality workers in Las Vegas and Reno, they endorsed Harris. Well, why would they endorse Harris? Well, because we can make the polls say whatever we want them to say. It is crazy to me. Where Trump and Harris stand on immigration and border security. Well, let's see. Tax the tips? That's kind of kinky. Well, I mean, whenever they say hospitality, I wonder if they're talking about the Bunny Ranch. From what I understand, is they get more than just the tip there. Just saying. I mean, not condemning or condoning. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but let's see what kind of bullshit they're going to tell us about where they stand. And it's more than just about immigration. If you want to see immigration, it's illegal immigration. Okay? Get it right, news. Get it right, reporters. Illegal immigration is one of the key issues in the November election, with many voters concerned over the excessive large number of illegals who have entered the United States during Biden's administration. Republicans have repeatedly hammered President Joe Biden and Vice President Camel Toe on the issue. Painted a picture of an out-of-control illegal immigration system where illegals are straining services as would-be terrorists and criminals take advantage of the chaos to infiltrate the country. Yeah, but we're supposed to be blind to this. It's amazing. We've been talking about this for what, 3 and a half, 4 years? Oh, 4 years now. Ever since the debate between Biden and Trump, where Biden got easily handed his ass to him. Yeah. Since then, they've been hammering on it because if I'm not mistaken, we can go back and look, but didn't Biden say, "Come on, we're gonna open up the border and let people in"? Yeah, you don't want to talk about that. After coming into office promising a kinder approach to illegal immigration, now 4 years later, you decide to say that. Biden administration officials have found themselves struggling to control the southern border. No, what they wanted to do is pass laws that got completely shot down. And what were those laws supposed to do? It wasn't about shutting down the border. It was about processing people into the country faster. Mm-hmm. They have cracked down on asylum access, but also created new ways for illegals to come to America and for some of those already here to become citizens. Mm-hmm. The administration has pointed to the falling numbers of illegals coming to the border this summer as proof its policies are working. Or you just don't report it. Sort of like you don't report all the other stuff. Here's a look at what Harris and Trump stand on illegal immigration. Harris's focus is on border security. Wait, you mean the border security that you said you didn't want to have whenever Donald Trump was in office? Odd how that works. Odd how that works. Have I heard about the Teslas and other electric vehicles that have been flooded in the hurricane that caused fires? Oh, no, there's never a lighter topic. Before his trip, Harris has largely shied away from the topic of illegals and has given few details about what she would do if elected. Sweetheart, AP, get your head out of your ass. She is already in that position. If she's elected, what are you talking about? She is already an elected official. She still has it with her realm of possibility of getting this shit done, but she is not doing anything. Why? Because, well, it would require an act of Congress and you don't have the support. Oh, that's right. Unless you're going to vote on a bill that like takes away the right for people, that are earning a certain amount of money and tips to tax the hell out of them. Yeah, that was your affordable economy bullshit that you passed, that you signed the winning vote on. Oh, we forget about that. Well, while Biden promised during the 2020 campaign to restore America's place as a refuge for illegals, the administration swiftly found itself dealing with an ever-growing number of illegals at the southern border. Democrat-led cities reveled at the strain they were taking on in their cities. Well, it was their fault. You mean the sanctuary cities where they said, come one, come all, come hang out? The administration shifted to a more carrot and stick approach that made it harder for people who come to the border to get asylum, while also creating new pathways designed to make them process more orderly. Oh, yeah, that was part of that border bill that was only going to send, what was it, $20 billion there, but it was going to send an extra $70 billion to Ukraine. Oh, and then whenever you look at it, you found out there was actually only about $5 billion that they were going to send to the border to handle that stuff. That's weird how that worked out. And then, of course, you were surprised whenever the Democrats and Republicans both didn't pass it through. In public comments on her website, Harris is focused on ways she would enforce border security, which she could already be doing. The current vice president has talked up her experience as a California attorney general. Name the cases that you worked on, like that you actually argued in front of the court. How many cases was that? Early in his term, Biden made Harris's administration's point purses on the root causes of the illegal immigration issue. And of course, Republicans described it as a border czar position responsible for all border security. But no. Her job was specific, figuring out long-term ways to stem illegals from 3 countries in Central America, like avoiding the one that we are on the border with. No. Her job as border czar was to go to other countries, not our southern border, which she refused to visit. like seeing what was going on. Harris has said Trump worsened the situation at the border by killing a bipartisan Senate compromise. Wait, a sitting vice president, and you've got a former president. That former president has more control over Congress than sitting vice president. Weird how that works. Yeah, none of them should be given any asylum. Absolutely not. They should be, according to international law, should be seeking the. Yeah, there you go. They're required to claim asylum at the first safe nation they go to, and Mexico is it. They must claim asylum there, not here. Yep, that's the problem. After hitting a record high in December of 2023, the numbers of illegals crossing the border has plummeted since then, or just the reporting of them. Harris and the administration have credited their tough anti-asylum measures for stemming the flow. Wait, for the border crisis that you caused in the first place, making it worse. Wait, didn't you shut down the building of the border wall? That's right. Yeah, isn't that steel just sitting there being sold off for pennies on the dollar because you said, we're not going to do that? The VP has endorsed comprehensive immigration reforms, seeking pathways to citizenships for illegals in the U.S. with a faster track for people living in the country illegally who arrived as children. Nope. You arrived here as a child, need to take your ass back. Don't like it? Tough shit. Send them all back. Trebuchets work really fast, really quick. She hasn't weighed in on whether she would continue the same bullshit that she's been doing for, I don't know, 4 years. Carrot and a stick and something like that. Migrants use an app called CBP1 to schedule an appointment while they're in Mexico. Well, they should just keep their happy ass in Mexico to present themselves in an official border crossing for entry. Also, 30,000 illegals from a month from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela. But see, you have to understand that there was a law passed way back. I can't remember the one exactly that says if you're fleeing Cuba, which is closest, we are the closest border to Cuba that they stop off in, that they would give them, they could seek asylum there. Unless you're alien, then they just ship your ass back across to, back to Cuba. Yeah. And then make you a rock star. Yeah, you can thank Janet Reno for that one. They can come to America for 2 years and get a work permit, assuming that they have a financial sponsor, pass vetting, and fly into an American airport. Oh, and guess what? I watched one where they were trying to do that in England. No, it was Australia. Yeah, you should watch the Australia border, the border stuff. It's pretty interesting. The amount of stuff that you can learn about people doing illegal crap. Harris has also lashed out at Trump's zero tolerance policies that separated families at the border to try to deter immigration. Wait, you mean so? It was the separation of families because the children. It's pretty hard to understand how a 12-year-old boy or a 12-year-old girl comes across the border with a 29-year-old man. 20-year-old man, or even a 20-year-old man. 20-year-old man's walking across the border and he's got a 12-year-old daughter. Really? Weird, huh? Well, and then he's got like a 13-year-old daughter, a 15-year-old daughter, and he's coming across with all of them. No, it doesn't look suspicious at all. No, not at all. You know how they love doing that. Yeah, it's super interesting. Yeah, see, you're not the only one. The Australian border show, it's super interesting. Yeah, you mean guide kids who are not related in any way to bring them across the border? You mean like the 400, what is it, 200,000 or 400,000? I forget the number of children that have just ended up disappearing. Gone. Like they never existed. Yeah, those right there. Yeah, they don't talk about those, do they? Yeah, they don't talk about those at all. That's That's nothing. That's nothing at all. You know how it works. You know how it works. You know what's going to happen. I'd pull up that particular one, but hey, it's this is what we're supposed to not be paying attention to. We're not supposed to talk about all of the kids that are missing. We're not supposed to talk about that at all because, well, that would be just too much for them. That'd be way too much for us to talk about that. But it's one of those where you just say, well, if you're telling us that something is going on and you bring it to them, you point it out, then what is it that they say? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have to bring this up. I just really have to. Just let it speak for itself. Yeah. Do I need to say more? Do I need to say much more than these things? Well, I think there's always a lot to be said.
He's an asshole. Look at his haircut. Anybody with a haircut like that, you know he's an asshole.
Hey, MG, how you doing, brother?
What's going on? Well, I'm just frustrated in the car driving to court.
Isn't it frustrating though? Because
they're letting all the damn dregs of the horrible people across. You got people who are coming in who are qualified, good people, trying to do it the right way, who get fucked by the system, paying tens of thousands of dollars and can't get in, can't get visas renewed, but they're bringing these bastards in to destroy our damn society.
Mm-hmm.
And keep wages down, because these people coming in, they're working. A lot of them are working under the table. They'll work for less, minimum wage or less, and you're keeping Americans without jobs, keeping labor costs down.
Mm-hmm. Well, until they want to get.
And I tell you, if you are certain melanin content, they are replacing you.
Oh yeah,
they're replacing you.
That's already been shown.
And it's not just as far as voting, as far as work, income and wages. It's keeping all those who are making minimum wage and barely above minimum wage. They're keeping those wages down, because why would I pay you more when I can hire somebody coming over here and probably get incentives from the government to do it, and keep and pay as little as I can possibly pay for a wage for an employee, instead of having to pay any more for someone who may do better.
And if you want to see and people say, "Oh, that's not true," it's already happening in other countries.
Yes,
it's already happening in other countries. Right here, watch.
So this letter was from the council, and you got this on the 12th of January. You moved in November, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you got this letter, and just spell out what this letter says.
That letter says that because the property is derelict, that they can compulsory purchase it. If there's any repairs to be done in it, they could take it off the price of the property.
Yeah.
And these properties are for migrants.
It's
what they want these houses for.
Extraordinary, isn't it? And how did you feel when you got a letter? You moved into your new wonderful home, you settle down, law-abiding citizens, and you get a compulsory purchase order from the council accusing you of occupying a derelict home. How did you feel when you got this?
I paid $200,000 for it, but didn't feel very well.
No, it must have been one hell of a shock, mustn't it?
It was an awful shock. And when I got that, I felt sick. And when we went down to the council the day we got that letter after we read it. And the lady in there, she said, "Don't worry about it. It's just a standard letter."
We have been so hollowed out as a nation. We've turned our backs entirely on the territorial integrity of this country, to the point where it's become standard to repossess houses.
But why is this always that it's for the immigrant and not the
And then-
indigenous population.
Well, veterans are sleeping rough.
Yeah.
16,000
In
veterans.
terrible weather.
Absolutely.
They can't get put in hotels.
You think
or
it ain't
the
coming
biggest
here?
home.
Think
There is a
again.
daylight charity, daylight tender charity in
gonna get
Wellingborough,
worse.
which looks after homeless people who are sleeping rough, and they spend £630 per annum per head. Illegal migrants get paid £50,000. They get spent on them £50,000 per annum per head, and here we have the evidence of it in this letter. They wanted your lovely new home. Unbelievable.
And what have they been pushing? What have the Democrats been pushing lately? For the past 3 years, that they're going to go after landlords.
Yep.
Oh, and whenever they're talking about landlords, they're not talking about in hotels, motels. They're not talking about all of the apartments and things like that, where you've got big conglomerate
apartments too,
businesses.
but
Part of it,
about
but what
homes, rental homes.
what they're after is all the landlord. Like, now imagine this: MG, back in his 20s, he bought a home for a little over his meager wage. I mean, he could just barely afford it, but he decided to rent that property out so that way it would sort of pay for itself. He was like, I want to pay for this property. Well, and guess what? They consider him one of those evil landlords. And over time, he's bought more properties and he rents them out. They pay for themselves, and he's able to rent them out and just basically pay for the property itself. And then he can turn around whenever property values go up. He can sell it off or he can move into it. But the government now wants to go after people like MG that might own a few properties that have been helping out his community by charging a lower amount of rent, because all he's after is just to basically get the damn property paid off and not cost him anything. But he's considered the evil one. It's coming soon. It is coming absolutely soon. But we also have something else that I wanted to talk about that's pretty important besides all of the illegal immigration coming on. And I touched on this a little bit earlier this morning, because the day of the debate, Tuesday during the debate, this is what's going to happen.
For union workers at major shipping ports along the East Coast, thousands are set to hit the picket line this Tuesday. The International Longshoremen's Association ordering a strike after talks demanding fairer wages hit a standstill. News Nation's Caitlin Becker joins us live from Port Elizabeth, New Jersey. Caitlin, what are we learning here? Major developments since the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
So this is all political.
Yeah, truly, Jesse. I was not
surprise,
expecting to hear this today. We're 36 hours before the deadline, and the ILA sent out a communication announcing that they're absolutely going to strike. They're going to walk off the job when their current contract expires. Now, it's a 6-year contract. Each of these contracts are 6 years, and the expiration date is midnight on Monday. So 12:01 Tuesday, these workers are going to walk off the job. There's going to be a full-on work stoppage up and down the East Coast and parts of the Gulf. Now, the ILA has not released any details specifically about exactly where these picket lines are going to be. They said that's going to come likely sometime
political
tomorrow.
environment of those states.
Mm-hmm.
So who they're hitting. You don't see it happening on the West Coast. Look at the states that are most affected by what they're doing.
Miami, blue. Tampa, blue. Mobile, blue. New Orleans, blue.
No,
Houston,
no.
blue. Savannah, blue. Charleston, blue. Wilmington, blue. Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, Boston. All of those are blue cities.
Mobile's not a blue city.
Yeah, it is. Oh God, yeah, it is. Oh yeah,
I was talking about the overall states. You look at Florida, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas.
Mm-hmm. And
look at those states.
The people
who they vote.
Well, and look who it's going to affect. Do you think it's going to affect these states? You think
Well,
it's
it
going
will to an extent, but it's going to affect everybody.
No, it's good. What it's going to affect is all of these states in the middle that are trying to get. So imagine this, Savannah. If you're trying to get stuff out of Savannah, you can't come up 20. You can take 16. You come up out of Jacksonville, 20. Nope, 20 shut down right now. Charleston, 20 shut down. You have to find your way around to 75, 85 and come back in. Yeah,
North Carolina, 40 is
fire.
shut down into Tennessee. 40 is gone into Tennessee.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think they've got some stuff cleared out, but it was the local community that got together and got it taken care of because the federal government is slow walking it.
Oh, of course they are.
It's just this right here is going to workers should cause shipment delays.
And this is a national security issue. You're talking about our ports. Stuff coming in and out. You got no way to check stuff coming in. Sit there and no telling what's coming into that port. It's sitting there.
You remember when
so it's a national security issue, and can't do what Reagan did with the damn air traffic controllers.
No, that was exactly what they should do.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to work? Okay.
Fire your ass.
What's going to happen? Bye.
Exactly.
Like, here, you don't want to re-sign the contract? See you, bye. Have a good one.
You let them go. Hey, the contract's expired. You're fired. We'll hire new people and have it up and running in a few days. You can teach people on the fly.
And how I guarantee
They
those
got the
people
balls to do it.
across that line will be gracious just to have a job.
Absolutely.
But this is what unions do in the United States. And as much as I love Nick, unions in Sweden are much different than unions in the United States.
Unions in the United States have been nothing but trying to the capitalist destroying groups ever since they're. I mean, back when you had kids working looms, that's one thing. Some of the dangerous. We don't have the dangerous conditions like we did.
No, we don't have the dangerous conditions. Breaking up on this, but he's gone through that bad cell. He'll be with us here shortly. Yeah, we know what happens whenever MG gets in those bad cells. You can't understand it.
Yeah, I can see, and I can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Exactly. You go. It's like, dang it.
I can, and you come through crystal clear.
Because I'm sexy, and you know it. Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah. There's no need for it. I was saying unions here in this day and age are not necessary. They're not needed. We already have to state and federal laws and agencies that oversee this stuff. It's not like it was 100 years ago.
No.
And they essentially are nothing more now than the money laundering into certain political groups. They force union fees that are given if go to certain groups.
That's odd how that works, isn't it?
And you have no say in where those fees go.
Nope, none at all. None at all. It surprises me that the people don't even know this is coming on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen?
They did note what the major issue was, and it really came down, Jesse, to wage stagnation. They said that the U.S. Maritime Alliance, that is who they're in talks with or were in talks with, just wouldn't come to an agreement about what they called wage subjugation that they said had been happening for years.
United States Maritime Alliance. Well, I wonder who that is. What is it? United, because I like looking these things at United States Maritime Alliance. Who exactly is United States Maritime Alliance? States Maritime is UMX, and let's give a little bit. Let's give a little bit of look at who UMX is. UMX is an alliance of container carriers, direct employers, or port associations serving the east and Gulf coasts of the United States. That is who they are. And let's see, they've got some new training material to provide USMX members, the employees of state art collection and format training in their ILA maritime workforce. What is it about them that makes them? Their address is on Chubb Avenue in New Jersey. Oh boy.
Or they have certain statements on their website.
Let's see. Local other contract agreements, documents, master contract documents, negotiations updates, safety bulletins, and various safety resources. Well, what do we got here? Port safety and health, negotiations updates. Let's see what their negotiation updates are. The master contract, the current 6-year agreement covers approximately 25,000 port workers employed in container and roll-on off operations at ports on the East Coast and Gulf Coast, and runs from October 1st, 18 to September 30th, 2024. United States Maritime Licensed Master Contractor. Bargaining, the International Longshoremen's Association, represents employers of the maritime industry in the ports from Maine to Texas who are responsible for the transportation and handling of cargo shipped to and from the United States. And since 1977, USMX and its predecessor organizations have successfully negotiated 10 new contracts.
How did we ever get by without them? They were just created in the 70s.
Yeah.
So we got by without them for, 200 years before. We get by without them now.
Yeah.
Let their asses go. Fire every one of them. If you want to come back, we'll hire you on an individual contract basis. Not even contract. Hey, this is what our wages are. This is what it is. We'll train you on the fly. Here we go. You're loading and unloading containers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're not the ones doing the inspecting of the containers. They're loading and unloading. And if they're doing inspecting, you can teach them how to inspect containers.
Yep.
You can teach them this. It's not like they're doing fucking rocket science.
No, they're picking up heavy equipment. They're picking it up and strapping it on and loading it over to a truck or onto stacks of other containers, and they're just unloading. And then they've got another one that comes along and loads it up on the back of a truck and ships it over to wherever the hell it's supposed to be going. Hey,
it's not rocket science. You can let them go. And those who are now without a job, you're more than welcome to keep and get a new job. We'll hire you up.
We'll rehire you. You just got to come in and reapply for it.
There's going to be no union. Sorry.
No union at all. That would change a lot of their attitude.
Years. Now, I have to tell you that from the USMX perspectives, they have said time and again that they were offering industry-leading wages more than the 32%, which was the last hike.
Yeah. You don't understand how much these longshoremen are making.
They make a lot of money.
And anything over a certain amount of time, they're getting paid double time sometimes. I mean, it is amazing how well these folks are being paid. And, well, yeah, our economy is all to crap, but these guys are making a lot of money.
Yep.
MG is fired up today. You need more coffee. That's right. All right. Well, you know what we're going to do? We are going to get some more coffee. I'm going to do a quick coffee break and go grab myself some too. And we'll be right back in just a short bit. Grab your coffee, folks. Grab your coffee cup. It'll be less than 2 minutes.
Sandy shores, get a tan, Rambo the orangutan. Driving a golf cart, oh man, Rambo is half crazy. Yes, he can. Well, that SOB's assigned to F and C. Oh, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Whoa, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Shizzy on the tunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is, well, that is too dirty to say here.
There we go. Whew. Getting that coffee, brother. This is so what we got here, we'll just continue on with this for
that their West Coast counterparts got for their contract last year. But the ILA wanted a 77% wage hike, and they just couldn't come to an agreement. Now, these two groups
77%?
haven't been at the negotiating table.
Yeah.
Wish I could get a fucking 77% wage hike. Hell, I'll take a damn 30% wage hike.
Shit.
20.
Imagine,
20 would be great.
Imagine most people, as far as their wages go,
Shit.
they're lucky if they're getting 2% to 5% annually,
or anything at all. I just think they're already making these people working in the ports are already making more than the average per. They're making above median income.
Yeah. Well,
probably well above.
Yeah. I mean, I think I haven't
bringing the median up.
Starting wage as an unskilled worker, I think starts you out, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around $60,000. And that's for like just coming in and scrubbing floors
at the ports.
That'd be like their starting wage. These guys can be making anywhere from 100 to 160,000, if not more, per year. And that's like someone that's been there for a few years. And they want to get 70% of that as an increase.
77% increase. So if they're making 100,000, they want $177,000. Think about that. They were already making 100,000. They want to be making 177,000.
But Broco says port workers are well paid, 6 figures easy. Yeah. Ballstorm's like, I'll take 23%, 77% increase.
Able for months.
But 23% just barely break even with inflation these days.
This is something kind of an eventuality that we were all expecting, and the ILA president has said in the past that they've been planning for this for a year. So the impacts could be far-ranging, though, Jesse.
Can we talk about that? Because what we're referring to, just to make it clear for our audience, is essentially the entire East Coast. What is the...
But it is the workers. See, here's the problem. Yeah. It is the workers, because the workers are the ones that put these people in power. They gave them power whenever they signed up and became part of the union. The only way that they were going to get a job there is if they become part of the union. And it is the workers that caused all of this in the first place. This is what happens whenever workers unite. They become a union. Whenever they become a union, they hire someone to be their official, their representative. If you don't like your representative, you vote them out. But they've got way too much money, way too much power, because you have to understand they're only taking a few cents off every paycheck.
Just a few dollars.
Yeah. Last time I raised the demo cap, and I'm afraid to do it again just in case I started it. Exactly. My wife had to raise her cost, and she's probably going to have to raise it again this year.
And every increase at the port increases the cost to import and export, and increases the cost of our products you buy. It ain't free.
No.
The consumers, the people, are the ones who are going to be paying for this.
No, because
everything's going to go up.
Then you put tariff. Here's the thing, MG. If you put tariffs on people, you're that's what's causing all this to happen. It's the tariffs, because then they're paying for it.
Well, the people who are, if we're exporting to them, or if they're importing to us with tariffs on the other countries, not on us.
Well,
Raising the cost of every port employee, that's raising the cost for the companies who are bringing it in. It is going to trickle. It always trickles down, and it's ultimately the price is ultimately borne by the consumer.
Yes.
Impact on customers come Tuesday.
Could be pretty large. Probably Tuesday itself, we won't feel it, but the ripple effect, according to retail experts, are things that we could certainly feel. And you said pretty much the entire East Coast. And I actually want to read you the list of the 14 ports that are going to be impacted. They're, of course, the port of New York and New Jersey, which is where I'm at right now, as well as the ports of Boston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Norfolk, Wilmington, Charleston, Savannah, Jacksonville, Miami, Tampa, Mobile, New Orleans, and Houston. That's a massive, massive number of huge, huge cities. And every single good you can think of flows in and out of these ports. So as I said, the ripple effect could be pretty large. We could be seeing increases in shipping costs, delays in shipments, this backlog that we're gonna
Oil and gas in Houston. Oh yeah. I mean, you're talking massive. And this is East Coast. This is not West Coast. Yeah, just in time for Christmas too. So it never tricks down. Well, that's why people get bonuses and then cry poor. That's not the correct argument. See, you're missing the aspect of what he's saying. See, this is what people don't understand. Whenever we're talking about this, you're misunderstanding how people receive money. Okay. There is
Santiago, trickle down economics is how economics works.
Yes, but
that's how it works. You ain't gonna get hired by a poor person. You're gonna get hired by a bankrupt company. You're gonna get hired by people with money. It trickles down. If the business, if it costs them more to buy that ham and turkey and cheese to put on your sandwich price is going to go up. If it costs them more to pay that employee to make that sandwich, your cost is going to go up. It's going to cost them more, but they're going to pay you. You have to pay them more.
Yes.
It always trickles down. It absolutely does.
What he
tell me you haven't run a business without telling me you haven't run a business.
MG, his problem is he's misunderstanding what the statement means, because he's been told so long by all of the Democrats that your money comes and it trickles down. That's not what that means. Like, that is not what that means. What that means is anything that goes good or bad, the effects of that trickle down to the lowest common denominator. That's who it affects the most. If the economy is booming, the people that are at the bottom are able to move up in the world,
Everything
and then
moves
they're
up.
out of the pores. Now, whenever it goes to shit, the people that are at the bottom receive the shit end of the stick. It all trickles down. It's the lowest common denominator that gets affected the most. That's what trickle down economics means. It doesn't mean that rain magically falls out of the sky and trickles down on the pores. No, it affects everybody at the bottom level, the base level. And that's what people like Santiago tend to forget, that whenever this trickle down economics came about,
Santiago, what caused a huge deficit was Congress spending more money than they get. That's the only thing that causes a deficit, is spending more than you bring in. And our economy boomed during the 80s and early 90s, mid 90s. Trickle down economics is how capitalist economies work. It's not a finite pie. It gets bigger. And as it gets bigger, more people get a bigger piece of that pie. More people get into that pie.
Don't try to discuss
those at the top. Those at the top
Santiago.
get more too, but
you won't get.
You're not. Like I said, you're not going to get hired by a broke person.
I see. The thing is Santiago's come in here before, and the thing is he'll come in and he'll say, "Oh, you're lying." You know, Santiago, I don't care. Because I already know how shit works. And whenever you maybe figure it out and get a life and understand this, maybe then you can like discuss these kind of things. Till then, you know, you're just like you're you're speaking to someone that's been around for quite some time, that has actually, done something somewhat successful. As art-hearted as I am, I actually have succeeded pretty well in life. No, it was not the Republicans that gave it the name. It was Democrats that gave it the name because that's who started using it. It was Democrats' talking point saying trickle-down economics doesn't work. They did, and they never understood what exactly it was. Yeah, you had a trucking company that closed down from the union, then reopened non-union. Exactly. That is very common for it to happen.
Well, wait, Santiago. In the 80s, who was in control of Congress in the 80s? It wasn't Republicans.
Nope.
Democrats were in control of Congress. It wasn't until 94 that the Republicans took the House for the first time in like 50 fucking years. Yeah. And then it didn't have the Senate.
Like I said, arguing with Santiago is like arguing with like a homeless guy that talks to puppies that don't exist. Okay, that's why I don't argue with Santiago. I just go do the research and stop even trying.
And for a lot of the great things he did on the economy, one thing Reagan fucked up was the goddamn amnesty.
Yes, yeah, which was brought about during Bush's. That was brought about during Bush's reign. I know because that's one of my good friends that was able to become dual citizenship, I guess the best way to do it. Owns like what is it, about 60 acres in Mexico, where his wife, his ex-wife, and his mistress all live. Yeah, but explain these things.
Reagan was president, Santiago, but Reagan can't do anything when it comes to spending congressional money or coming up with laws. He don't get to pass the laws. He can't do anything without Congress. But Congress controls the purse strings. Congress is the one that writes the laws.
Wallstorm says, "I had enough."
And he can pass an executive order, but an executive order doesn't do jack shit outside of federal agencies. It's not law.
Thank you, Wallstorm. Ballstorm just muted him. He's like, I had enough of this guy talking out of his ass.
Sit untouched, not being able to be loaded and unloaded, because that's specifically what we're talking about here, the loading and the unloading of these shipping containers. And one of the things that the union had a problem with was the thought that their jobs could be automated in the future. I think we're hearing that in a lot of different industries, and that's, of course, a sticking point here as well. Now, full automation is off the table. There is a current ban for that already in the USMX, and they're going to keep that. However, they want.
What was that?
Yeah, I was saying, don't block and mute Santiago. But
no, here's and it's just the thing is
it's frustrating.
I'm not. And the reason Wallstorm does that is because Wallstorm is. You should have.
Oh yeah, Jake, I agree.
A little bit. Here's the problem.
Had the House and Senate, and Republicans didn't do shit. Think of how much they could have gotten done in the first 2 years.
I'll say this over and over again because I don't mind whenever people just put them in a nice little timeout, because if Santiago had a valid point, he wouldn't have to come here and spew bullshit and lies. All he would have to do is start his own YouTube channel, news organization, whatever the hell he wants to do, and discuss all of his fine points there. Because I'm sure that there are so many people that would be in agreement with him.
Rosalind's right. So unions helping a useless employee keep their job, that's keeping a skilled person out of a job.
Yep. Slows growth.
And it is seen very clearly in education.
Automation and these big cranes that you see behind me at this port, those are things that could potentially be semi-automated or fully automated, and that means these workers could potentially lose their jobs in the future. So in addition to, of course, all of these shipping issues and the ripple effect that could have with commerce as we ramp into the holiday season, all these people are going to be out of a job too. So hopefully the strike won't last for too long, and these two can come to an agreement on each side kind of getting what they want. We do know that the White House had tried to get these two sides back to the bargaining table because they wanted to avoid this exact situation that we are going to find ourselves in on Tuesday. However, the Biden administration has said that they support collective bargaining, and they've never tried to intervene in a strike in the past, and they're not going to.
Yeah, had the lines in their pockets. Of course they are. They support.
Of course.
Who do you think the unions give political campaign contributions to? It's sure as hell Trump.
Yeah. Well, no.
It's
But here's
Democrats.
what they tell you. See, this is all gaslighting 101. Trump escalates attacks on Harris' mental fitness and suggests she should be prosecuted. Wait a second.
Yes. Well,
That right there is exactly what the Democrats have been doing ever since Trump said that he was announcing a second run. Or third run. I guess it would be a third run at this point. Ever since he announced it, they've been saying, well, he's too old, saying that he should be prosecuted. Oh, and what are they doing now to Trump? They're prosecuting him. Republican presidential nominee escalated his personal attacks on Camel Toe on Sunday by repeating an insult that she was mentally impaired while also saying she should be impeached and prosecuted.
She was a Democrat.
Yeah.
She's a liberal. She's a liberal Democrat.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he described as
she's mentally impaired.
Yeah, she is mentally impaired. He told a cheering crowd Sunday that Harris is responsible for the invasion at the U.S.-Mexico border. Yes, she should be prosecuted for her actions, impeached. Yeah, she should be. You know, no different than you would for anybody else. Crooked Joe Biden became mentally impaired, and but lying camel toe is honestly, I believe she was born that way. Oh, he just called her a midwit. There's something wrong with camel toe, and I just don't know what it is, but there's definitely something missing. Well, that's because she's filled, her mouth with semen. And you know what? Everyone knows it. Yeah, they do. Just over a month until the election, Trump is intensifying his use of personal and offensive attacks, no different than he would any other day. The suggestion that political enemies be prosecuted, that is not what he said. That is not what he said. He didn't say political enemies should be prosecuted. He said people that are doing illegal things should be prosecuted. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that fair game? Isn't that what we've been told for the past, I don't know, since the DOJ started going after him? And then they found out that, oh, well, yeah, we can't go after him in this place anymore. So we're going to appeal. We're going to appeal because we definitely need to prosecute him for things that he did while he was president.
Yeah.
Yeah. His suggestions that political enemies be prosecuted, and particularly notable for their departure from the norms, doing illegal things, in which the U.S. justice system is supposed to be protected from political influence, but it hasn't been, as we've seen over the past, 3 years. In the recent weeks, Trump has threatened prosecutions of Google and, well, Google is completely different, giving priority to, made up stories about Harris and Mark Zuckerberg. What? Yeah, because we saw what happened with Zuckerberg. He said, yes, the DOJ was coming in and telling us that we couldn't talk about certain things.
Yep.
That we can't talk about. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trump has long threatened legal action against his rivals. Well, no, it was Hillary. He said,
for those who are breaking the law, yes.
Yeah, what was that about Burisma? What was that about? Well, she was in her official capacity that she was supposed to be sending someone to go protect a certain foreign ambassador that was attacked and deleted. Yeah, and did nothing about it.
Secure email servers in her closet. And then destroyed classified information, destroyed emails, and destroyed evidence.
Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about
the fucking law.
Yeah. Trump argues federal and state prosecutors are targeting him for political reasons. Yeah, prove him wrong. Prove him wrong. Trump could potentially pardon himself on federal cases or order the Justice Department to shut down their investigations of him. No, they'll just do that naturally. Because once it becomes very clear that Trump is going to come in there and fire every damn one of them because they work at the behest of the president, that's going to really send a ripple right through there. Amazingly enough. Once upon a time, our U.S. workers needed unions, but that time has passed. Absolutely, Cynthia. That's completely right. See you later, Iron Rabbit. You be safe. Good to see Iron Rabbit here. She is such a doll. We should embrace Zuck. He got blasted and then he shut up. Yeah. Yeah, he'll be reincarnated. I just think the better course to take prosecution of the case that her policies are destroying the country. Yeah, State of the Union, they're crazy liberal. No, they're just crazy. I think camel toe is the wrong choice for America, says everybody. When pressed, Emmer said, I think we should stick to the issues. The issues are Donald Trump fixed it once. They broke it. He's going to fix it again. Those are the issues. True. See nothing wrong with what they're being saying. Last month, the GOP leader said he was entitled personal attacks against Harris. I doubt that's what he was talking about. I doubt that's what he was talking about. Hey, King Paco, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. We're hitting that time. Oh yeah. Oh, geez, I almost forgot because I'm an idiot. We do have a stream that's going to be happening tonight. Going to be derailed over here on my channel.
Half of us are here right now.
Yeah, there is half of us here. at least
the other one's in chat. He's just not on. So
well, we have to. He does actually have work. Unlike someone driving around and doing just going from town to town.
I sure as hell wish I was not driving to court today. Because I'm going to be all day long. I got 2 counties to go to all day.
You're like a door-to-door salesman. Come on, we know the truth. We know the truth. You show up.
Luckily I got one that bad one that was in another county here, and it's settled over the weekend. Thank God. It's not going to be pretty. But
come on, we know the truth. We know the truth. Yeah. You show up. Those lonely housewives are just itching for you. They're like, why isn't he? Why isn't he showing up for me?
All of those lining the turnpike here.
Exactly. Oh my God. Oh, let's see. It looks like we got Mo is coming up pretty soon. She's gonna have something. But tonight we will be doing. Go ahead. Is Squid streaming?
Oh, look at the stuff in her. I guess she lost power.
Yes, I know. She's been out of power for a few days.
She said the rest of the stuff in her deep freezer is trash, and her house smells like cauliflower gone bad.
Hey, that's
sure it's the cauliflower.
Oh,
all kinds of stuff. I mean, everything in your fridge. That's what happened like last year when we lost. Was last year when we had roof damage and we lost power only lost power for like 2 days because it was Saturday night. We got it back on like Monday evening, and we lost everything. So
yeah, that's it's been pretty damn insane the amount of loss, and I mean. Everyone's feeling the effects of it. It's not going to get much better. Not going to get much better. I will tell you right now. I don't see it getting to the level that it could be.
How the hell can Uber and Lyft drivers unionize? They're not even employees.
I don't
and
know.
You choose when you work.
Yeah.
There's no set schedule. And you could you could choose to work and not get paid a damn thing.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? Well, it looks like there's some people that are coming up, but those are far off. And what I'll do is I'm just redirecting everybody over to the Derailed stream. It will be on this channel tonight. We'll have the expert. It'll be MG. It'll be myself and the ever glorious Ballstorm. And we sometimes try to get Valhalla to show up, but it's sometimes he's just out chasing goats or running psyop operations.
Exactly. Depends on where the CIA needs him.
Yeah, exactly. We don't talk about that, openly or publicly or anything like that, because we don't want to, anybody believes that stuff. They just, I laugh. digest. But no, so I've got everybody directed over there, and so come by tonight. It should be starting up at 9:00. I may do a little bit of a pre-stream before then because I've got a few things that came into my peripheral that I'm trying to cover. Hopefully I can get those out of the way in short order, but that'll be tonight at 9:00. And MG, of course, will be showing up as soon as he possibly can. He does have to go pull another groin muscle. So we're
maybe depends.
Depends.
What kind of mood people are in.
Yeah, but with
might be pulling a groin muscle later. Who knows?
Yeah, baby. All right, everybody. We'll see you guys on the flip side. And wherever you're at, have a good morning, a good evening, good afternoon, good night, and make sure that when you wherever it is that you land today, show them some love. And hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to them, it's something you listen to and enjoy. Subscribe to them. It really helps out the algorithm. And get naked.
Bless your heart. I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Early morning, rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.